Author's POV. Yes, Mr. Kim, I just reached now. I'm coming. You said on call while walking and you bumped into someone in a hurry. You were about to fall, but the person held you whom you bumped. He saved you by holding your waist. You closed your eyes in fear of falling. The person wants to see your face, but your face was hidden by your long hair. Then suddenly his eyes went on a necklace in your neck. After a few minutes, you stand straight and walk away from there without looking at the person because you were in a hurry. He looked in your direction and none of you see each other's faces. The necklace, is she her? The person thought. Hello, Mr. Kim, you said to your boss. Why did you came late? I'm sorry, Mr. Kim, he nodded. Today, the richest businessman of Korea, Mr. Park, is coming to party. We have to talk with Mr. Park so that we can collaborate. You nodded. Don't worry, Mr. Kim, we will do our best. He smiled at you. You both took a drink. Hello, Mr. Park. Hello, I'm Kim Taeyong. Hello, Mr. Kim. I'm Park Jimin. Oh, come on, Mr. Park, you don't need to introduce yourself. Who don't know you? He said and Jimin chuckled. By the way, I'm CEO of Kim Enterprises. He said while handshaking with you, and meet my secretary. He said while introducing you as you were standing behind him. As you came forward and looked at the person in front of you, you both looked at each other and you didn't even take a second to identify him. You looked into his eyes and quickly looked away as you don't want to look into his eyes because the past memories covered your mind. Same goes with him. He looked at the necklace in your neck and he also didn't even take a second to recall you cause this necklace was the sign of your mom. She's my secretary, Lee Wyan. He said and you took a deep breath and tried to behave normal as a professional. You forward your hand to him for a handshake. Hello, Mr. Park. You said while handshaking. Hello, Miss Wyan. He said with his same aura. He looked at you from head to toe and now you have changed a lot in these 7 years. And more beautiful as well. He smirked that way you are getting nervous. You're beautiful, Miss Wyan. He said while looking at you and you were stunned by his statement. Yes, she is, Mr. Park. And talented as well. I would like to work with you. He said to Kim, but he was looking at you all the time. Thank you, Mr. Park. I really want to work with your company. He said and suddenly a waiter came and served the drinks. Both of them took the drinks except you. Then Jimin said, Miss Wyan, don't you want a drink? He purposely said, knowing you have low tolerance. Yes, Wyan, why don't you drink? He asked. Sir, I have low tolerance, so I don't drink much. And I already had a shot with you, you said. But Miss Wyan, you didn't take the shot with me, please. He insisted you and you looked at your boss and he nodded. You all have a shot and as always your head starts to spin and everything feels heavy. So, sir, you said and suddenly Jimin asked, Are you okay, Miss Wyan? He asked but you ignored him. Sir, I'm coming in a minute. You said to Kim and was about to go. Then suddenly Jimin held your wrist and called his secretary. Yuna, please help her. He said to his secretary and she took you to the washroom and in the meantime Taeyong got a call and he had to go urgently. You came back from the washroom with Yuna. Thanks for your help, Miss Yuna. You said to her and looked for the Taeyong. He is gone. He said to you, but you ignored him and called Taeyong. I'm sorry, Ryan. Because of some personal reasons, I had to go urgently. You hung up the call and Jimin was looking at you with an annoying face, same as before. He said, and you were about to walk out from there, but suddenly he stopped you and asked, "Where are you going, sweetheart?" He asked. "Obviously, I'm going to my home, Mr. Park." You said and left, while he was looking at you until you disappeared from his sight. I would never have thought but that I would meet you again. You have changed a lot, and not gonna lie, beautiful and sexy as well, he said to himself while smiling. Karen, he said while looking at you as he saw you waiting for the bus, but you ignored him and still stood there, sweetheart, stubborn like before. He said, and you were nervous because in the past he used to call you with this name. First of all, Mr. Park, my name is Ryan. Don't call me with those words. You said and was about to walk, then suddenly he held your wrist and said, "Don't you like it when I call you sweetheart?" He said and made you nervous. "Now don't waste the time, sweetheart, Karen." He said, "I won't go with you." You said and released your wrist from his grip. "Why don't you understand, huh? It's not safe at night for the beautiful like you." You looked at the road and it was all dark and empty. You accept his offer and sit inside the car. "Seatbelt," he said and started the car. You were looking outside the window, but his focus was only on you. "Sweetheart, do you still love me?" He suddenly asked. You gulped as he asked, "I don't want to talk about the past." You said without looking at him. "You have changed a lot since when you started to wear these dresses." "It's my choice, Mr. Park. You don't need to interfere in my personal life. It's none of your concern. Everything related to you is my concern, sweetheart." He said, and you looked at him being confused. He leaves you at the apartment and you went inside without saying anything to him. He was only looking at you all the time until you disappeared from his sight. For this POV, time skipped to your school days. You and Jimin both were in the same school. He was your senior and he was also known as the bad boy of the school. He always bullied almost everyone in the school except you. He always teases you and troubles you, but never does something to make you feel sad or never let anyone hurt you. And just like those passing days, you don't know when you fell in love with him, and once catching all your courage, you decided to confess to him, but at last he rejected your proposal. Since the day you started to hate him and ignore him. Time skipped to the next day. Today you came to Park Corporation with your boss, as both of their company wants to collaborate. "Why did you prepare the presentation and file?" "Yes, sir, I have done." He nodded. You entered the meeting room and you got nervous as your eyes met the particular person that you don't want to see. "Hello, Mr. Park." You said while handshaking with him, and his touch made you chill. "Hi, Miss Fan," he said with a teasing smile. The meeting was going on, but you can feel someone's strong gaze on you, who is no other than Park Jimin. "So, Mr. Park, what's your decision? What's your opinion on this project?" "It is good, Mr. Kim, but..." "But what, Mr. Park?" "But I have a condition." "What condition, Mr. Park?" "Well, Mr. Kim, I am impressed by your secretary, Miss Swan." You looked at him being curious when he talked about you. "I want her," he said, and you and Kim were looking at him confused. "What? I don't understand, Mr. Park," he asked. I want her to work for my company till our company is working together." He finally explained, but you were not ready with this. You looked at Jimin, who was smirking at you. So, what do you have to decide, Mr. Kim? Yeah, that's alright, Mr. Park. Wine will work for you. He said, and you looked at him. You looked at Kim and said, but Mr. Kim, if I work here, then who's gonna handle your events and meetings? You said and tried to convey him, but suddenly Jimin said, there's no issue, Mr. Kim. My secretary, Miss Yuna, will handle your events and all. That's it, Miss Mayan. The problem is solved. You couldn't say further, and in the meantime, Kim got a call and he went out. You looked at Jimin being frustrated by him. He signaled his secretary Yuna to leave, and now you both are alone in the meeting room. You looked at the door who got suddenly locked. You looked at Jimin and asked, why the door gets locked? You asked, relax, sweetheart. He said, I'm coming towards you. Why are you doing this? He asked, and you asked, and he just chuckled before saying, doing what, sweetheart? He said, I'm touching your hair. You ignored him and he said, look at me when I'm talking to you, sweetheart. He said while holding your chin and made you look at him. You pushed him, but he held both of your wrists and lifted you with a sudden force and put you on the table and cased you. What are you doing? You asked, but he put his finger on your lips and made you shut. He looked at your face closely and said, so from now on, I'm your boss, sweetheart. Make sure you follow my every order. He said and looked at your skirt, which was a bit revealing. And make sure not to wear a skirt in my office. He said while fixing your skirt and making sure you might not be uncomfortable. You looked at him and he was like before caring and possessive. And you also make sure, Mr. Park, try to be professional. Don't interfere in someone's personal life. You said being straightforward. Time skipped the next morning. You entered inside his cabin and he was already there. Good morning, Mr. Park. You said, good morning. You're 42 seconds late, sweetheart. He said, and you looked at him frowning your brows. He looked at you from head to toe and smiled because today you wear the pants instead of skirt. And he knew how much you're scared of him.